everybody, and welcome to this special on Neptune going direct. I'm Amani. I'm a karmic, holistic, astrological life coach, and I like to go in depth in all that I do, and all of my interpretations, especially when it comes to Venus, Mercury, Sun transits and everything really, are based on Vedic astrology, which is based on where the planets or the luminaries, which are the sun and the moon, are any given time in the sky, and all times are in GMT time as well. So yeah, thanks for listening, and yeah. So Neptune goes direct on the 7th of December at 11:43 p.m. and it stays direct until when it goes retrograde again on the 4th of July 2025 at 10:33 p.m. So yeah, I'm going to go in depth and look at Neptune going direct in all angles, because it does last for about 8 months. So what do we do when Neptune is direct? So in astrology, Neptune is an outer planet that represents our dreams, illusions, spirituality, the subconscious mind, the mystical, the unknown, the secrets that we keep buried in our subconscious, our secret enemies either within us or in the external world. It is also associated with creativity, intuition, idealism, escapism, addiction. Neptune in essence controls imagination and fantasy, and it also influences how we look at reality, and it inspires us to seek deeper meaning in our lives. But negatively, Neptune energy, as I said, can lead us to be confused, be deceived, or deceive others, manipulate others, and escape into self-destructive habits, thoughts, relationships, and everything else that's not good for us. So we have to make sure we properly balance, being in the fantasy but also being in reality as well. So now I'm going to just sum up the overall positives, negatives, and best use of Neptune transiting direct in Pisces, where it is at this year. So positively, this energy can increase intuition and spiritual insights and creativity. It can also make us more empathetic, compassionate, and kind of help us feel more connected to the collective consciousness. But negatively, as I said, because it can lead us into illusion, wanting to be lied to, lying to others, ignoring red flags, just wanting to ignore reality. It's important for us to stay grounded in healthy ways and to be cautious of falling into delusion and deception, and to check facts when citing important information and stuff like that as well, and getting help if need be, if we feel like we need help if we're struggling with any emotional or mental health issues as well. The best use of this energy is try and channel your emotion into creativity, meditation, or anything else technical or logical that uplifts you, reading, researching, or any other spiritual activity that nourishes your mind, body and soul. And just make sure that you stay grounded in reality and avoid being misled by fantasies or false promises right now. So now I'm going to go deeper into the different layers of what it means when Neptune goes direct, which it does every year for at least about 7 months, and then it spends the rest of its time in retrograde. So I'm going to talk about the holistic astrological meanings, the practical, financial, political, worldly, materialistic, social, collective meanings of Neptune going direct from retrograde. So on the holistic level, when Neptune goes direct, we can experience a shift in our perception, our beliefs, especially the perception of our dreams and reality itself. It can sort of like bring a renewed clarity regarding our goals and especially our spiritual goals, because when Neptune's retrograde, things can be a bit blurry in our imagination, so we can find ourselves more logically and balanced, if that's a word, in tune with our intuition. It pushes us to have a deeper exploration of our subconscious desires. Emotions that felt confused during the retrograde phase can, emerge now, and with a new understanding. We could have been confused about them before, but now we understand, and this energy, this connection to our psychological, emotional and spiritual needs can make us be able to use our ideas and ideals more effectively, and just believe in love, to be open to fantasy but in a logical, more organised way. Collectively, although I'm going to talk more about this in a short while, we can just be more open to inspiration, especially in our social settings. There can be social movements, or just when we're in our social friendship groups, we can have more empathy and compassion and healing, and we may just reevaluate our values as a collective as well, and it can just be more of a focus on, being charitable, humanitarian, and a desire to connect with others on a deeper emotional level. And this can create a sense of unity and sort of like respect. Although we have individual differences, this can still make us feel connected, as we're connected by our humanity and our differences, and we all have differences and flaws, and this is what makes us human. On the practical level, we can have newfound clarity, because as I said, the fog that Neptune retrograde brought can be lifted right now. So where we may have felt confused or miscommunication may have got in the way of projects, they can move more smoothly now, and this can make it easier to navigate challenges, especially challenges that you get around implementing your visions, your dreams, your hopes right now. It can also help us tell the difference between illusion and fact right now, and discern between reality and fantasy, and this can lead to more grounded, informed decision making in both our personal finances and career plans. Socially, we can experience increased sensitivity in the emotional undercurrents of our relationships, and this increased awareness can create stronger connections with others and allow us to engage in more meaningful conversations, and we just, can just be more supportive, as I said earlier, with each other, and wanting tangible results, and thinking about how we can protect the environment more, and support causes and people that resonate with our values. In terms of the financial meanings, we can just understand our financial goals more clearly now. It's a good energy to reassess our investments and what we're spending more effectively, and because we can become less illusionary, because when Neptune's retrograde, we can just not care even about our finances, because we can be in the dream world sometimes, especially if we've got strong Neptune aspects or placements in your birth chart. So now we can just feel a lot more grounded in our financial decisions, and we may just stay away from wasting money and being speculative in our ventures, and we may actually take risks on things that previously seemed appealing but lacked substance. Now we may think, hold on, let's give it a bit of a bet, but only gamble, this is what you can afford, invest what you can afford to lose. Also during this time, we are encouraged to explore our values related to money, and we can become more attuned to the ethical implications of our financial choices and choices in general. So we want to align with ventures that align with our principles more, and we can feel inspired to go after new creative income making schemes, so starting side hustles and using intuitive insights or hidden talents, 12th house talents, psychic gifts or deductive reasoning gifts, imaginative capabilities to increase our, financial value and worth and stability right now. In terms of the worldly materialistic meanings, superficial desires lose their sort of appeal right now. So when Neptune's retrograde, we can just not care about the longevity of relationships or clothing choices or spending our money, but now we will want to focus on spending our time, money, resources more meaningfully, and buying things that are sustainable, and we may feel ourselves more drawn to experiences and connections that are made in commitment or have some sort of meaning rather than just pleasure or trying to kill time, hookups and stuff like that, feeling lonely, so just wasting time with someone because you don't want to be alone. We can just take a more intentional approach to lifestyle choices and what we buy right now. Also, Neptune going direct kind of shines a light on the areas where idealism, working with our intuition and creativity, can meet reality in our material life. So as I said earlier, some of you may sort of start your own business right now or expand it, and you'll be more focused on the things that promote your overall well-being, and finding that balance between your goals and the practicalities of life. And this can create a sense of happiness that is created from genuine connections and purposeful plans and spending, rather than just the accumulation of possessions, relationships, stuff like that. So now I'm just going to talk a bit more about the social collective meaning. So again, it wants us to reevaluate our collective dreams. Conversations can revolve more around spirituality, creativity, and thinking about the interconnectedness between us all. And this can make us more focused on equality and making the world or life a better place at this moment for those we know. It wants us to work on shared visions for compassionate society, overcoming disillusionment, especially the disillusionment that the world's resources shouldn't be shared equally. There may be increase in creative projects, and spiritual practices that encourage collective unity, and it pushes us to confront the underlying truths about life on Earth, rather than brushing over it. And it wants us to, really participate in things, activities, initiatives that promote inclusivity and transcendence right now on the communal level. So psychologically, it can make us go after our dreams with greater conviction, determination. We can find it easier to connect with our intuition and imagination, allowing for more authentic expressions of our emotions and inner visions. It invites us to let go of self-deception, lying to ourselves, and face our deeper truths and our psychological, emotional and spiritual wounds. And this can create emotional healing, spiritual growth and psychological understanding. Also, Neptune direct can increase our sensitivity and make us more attuned to the feelings and energies around and within us. But although we can be attuned to them when Neptune's retrograde, when it's direct, we'll be able to use them in a more purposeful way that can help us. It allows us to have insight into our relationships and spiritual beliefs, and it can help us develop more empathy for ourselves as we integrate our experiences and emotions into a more healthier, more holistic perspective, worldview, how we think about the world and ourselves as well. And as we allow ourselves to love on ourselves more and build our self-worth and understanding, respect, esteem and awareness and confidence and belief, and allow ourselves to connect with ourselves on a deeper level. Spiritually, it allows us to experience a more practical, grounded connection to the spiritual dimensions, and it encourages us to explore mystical experiences and connecting deeper with our consciousness and being in more connection with universal truths and our higher self. Some of us may experience many spiritual awakenings because it's a journey, it's not a destination. We keep on learning and relearning and unlearning and all of that. It can push us to engage in practices such as dream work, creative expression, meditation, experimenting with the way we speak, dress, express ourselves creatively and all of that. We can feel spiritually elevated and gain a great understanding of our purpose in the world, and it signifies a time for us to release the illusions about ourselves and the world and embrace more authenticity in our personal expression and our spiritual beliefs. So some of you may find yourself letting go of some old spiritual beliefs and researching new ones. Our increased intuition can guide us towards enlightened choices and deeper realization about our life, and it pushes us to seek out spiritual communities and connections, opening channels for collective healing and shared wisdom. Esoterically, because it can uncover layers of hidden truths that have been hidden by self-deception or external illusions. It allows us to connect with our subconscious motivations and thoughts deeply, and this can give us insights that we may have been unable to get eluded us in the past, just because I believe we open up at the times we're meant to open up. That's why we have to learn to be more still and flow, although take practical actions to unlearn things so we can get into the flow. So it's kind of paradoxical. So esoterically it wants us to, as I said, confront fears and uncertainties so we can get a clearer understanding of our desires and motivations. And symbolically it wants us to merge the spiritual with the material, the logical with the intuitive, and dissolve the boundaries between duality, seeing one as all and all as one. And this can bring an increased empathy as we push to transcend individual concerns for the collective good, and we can just find ourselves having artistic breakthroughs because inspirations can flow more easily and freely, and we can just feel that we're a co-creator in the universe working with our higher self and higher power, and this can lead to profound transformation. Mythologically, Neptune is associated with the sea, symbolising both the depths of the unconscious and the vastness of human emotions, and it gives us a sense of wanting to explore our spiritual dimensions and promoting a sense of unity with the collective consciousness, just like the sea, and all the different particles of water are connected. We are reminded that we are all connected. So I'm going to talk a bit more about the creative and emotional meanings of Neptune direct. So because Neptune can enable us to tap into our imaginations more freely and just, the spiritual and the things that we can't see more freely, can just make us more open-minded. It allows us to express our feelings and visions through various artistic techniques, allowing for richer exploration of our inner world and our creativity. And because we can find ourselves more in tune with our inner selves, we can kind of work on increasing our extrasensory perception abilities, psychic abilities. We may have more vivid dreams, and we may just feel a stronger connection, as I said earlier, to humanity, to ourselves, to that sense of empathy and compassion with us, and this can just make us feel more connected to the world right now. And going into self-reflection and spiritual kind of healing and psychological understanding can help us get to the depths of our emotions, and if we go through this process we can increase our awareness and insight, as I said. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the aspects that Neptune makes when it goes direct in Pisces this year, and how they influence the whole 7 months that Neptune's direct. So first we've got Uranus making a sextile to Neptune. This is ongoing. It's at a 2.43 separating orb, and it's been going on for a while. So this enables us to be more innovative and creative and tap into that mystical spiritual aspect of ourselves and humanity. It allows us to embrace new routines, new ways of thinking, opinions, perspectives about ourselves and others and the world in general. Supports intuitive breakthroughs and a deeper understanding of ourselves, our psychological, emotional, spiritual wounds, our dreams, and it's a great time for us to engage in activities that allow us to express our individuality while remaining sensitive to the collective consciousness around you, but also still remaining aware of your own needs and being more gentle with yourself, and learning or continuing the work of letting go of your past, especially your past mistakes, because you can't change them, you can only change your future. And I know it can be easier said than done to let go of regrets, but this energy allows us to break free from our past limits and conventional thinking and anything that's led to confusion or being too idealistic or lacking grounding, or being too much of blaming others. And this is not the victim saying or anything like that, but we may just think, what, this is my life, I'm gonna do my best to live it the best way I can. But negatively we can sort of want to live in fantasy and just want to think spiritual or lofty visions right now and overlook our reality, and may find it hard to not be confused right now. So get help if you're feeling like that. But ultimately, to make the most of this energy, balance, being innovative with realistic planning, staying grounded, and knowing that you have to take practical daily steps to reach your goals as well. So it's a time where we can unite our imagination with actionable goals and practical thought and action as well. Neptune also makes a conjunction to the moon's north node, so it allows us to align our words and actions with our self-purpose, and it allows us to merge our personal ideals with our destiny, and to go after paths and relationships and decisions that resonate deeply with us on a spiritual and higher level that really nurtures our soul. It allows us to navigate life's uncertainties and tap into our intuitive wisdom, and it can just bring an increased sense of compassion and empathy, and it pushes us to engage in our healing practices and support causes that uplift others. And at the same time, it's crucial to remain aware of the potential for disillusionment, and because the ethereal nature of Neptune can blur boundaries, we can find it hard to tell the difference between genuine connections and illusions. We may find ourselves caught up in dreams that seem unattainable or become too idealistic about our goals. So remember, grounded visions and practical actions are the key words for this sort of transit. Also, at the time of Neptune going direct, there's a T-square with the Sun in Scorpio, Mercury in retrograde, Saturn in Aquarius, and Jupiter in Midheaven in Taurus at 27% orb. So this supports us to go in depth, to work towards our desires and motivations, but can add to the misunderstandings and miscommunication challenges because Mercury being retrograde. And we just need to take the time to reassess our relationships, our plans, our intentions in general right now, and take take a more idealistic view of our lives and relationships right now, and Saturn in Aquarius allows us to be strategic and be grounded in reality right now, and Jupiter's influence gives us that pragmatic, practical approach as well. So now I'm going to talk about the karmic meanings, lessons, and the type of past life dreams and memories that could come up, and the collective karma of Neptune direct. So Neptune direct, as I said, symbolises a time of taking practical action and making practical shifts in our mindset in regards to our spiritual growth and higher consciousness, and looking after our psychological and emotional and spiritual well-being. And it wants us to dissolve boundaries and illusions to connect with our true selves. And the karmic meanings wants us to confront the ways that we deceive by others and face reality, and not ignoring reality. A lot of the time we escape into our intoxicating relationships and habits because we don't want to face our truths. So this pushes us to seek deeper truths within ourselves and the world around us, and challenge our perceptions and beliefs, and to uncover hidden truths and face illusions. So for example, someone who may have been avoiding facing the difficult truth about themselves, their relationships or past actions, may find the truth coming to light during this transit. Truth may come to light no matter how much we may not want it to, so we have to brace ourselves, research the right tools, draw upon our inner strength, and know that sometimes the past, we can't change it, we can't avoid it coming out. Sometimes all we can do is deal with it and learn from it, and all of us are humans and we make mistakes, no matter how some of us like to make it seem like we don't. In terms of past life memories and dreams, we can just have like dreams related to sacrifice, illusion, creativity or spiritual awakening. Other past life memories around deception and betrayal, and being too idealistic in love and romantic maybe, or not being romantic enough. The lessons, the importance of being truthful and having integrity are highlighted through our dreams right now or thoughts right now, and someone may vividly remember being misled by a trusted individual in previous lifetimes that led to consequences that they're now facing or have yet to overcome. So with this, just think about the things that you have done, or the ways you feel betrayed, or the way you feel you've betrayed others, and try and work through it and forgive yourself and others. In terms of collective karma, as I said, we can just be more empathetic, compassionate and understanding. So we may again we'll look at collective wounds that have been ignored or suppressed, things to do, generations trauma, the ways that we bury our psychological, emotional, spiritual pain in intoxicating substances, and how doing this can, put us away from our real selves and we can live in illusion. There can also be sort of like a shift where people are, wanting to confront systematic injustices and want to build more inclusivity and understanding, especially with marginalised groups and people, people that are 99%, we're all in the 99%, and it's not to say, money or anything's evil, it's about it's time for us to redress the imbalance and realise that a lot of problems will go on for generations to come if we don't address them, especially when it comes to our psychological, emotional, spiritual health issues. So it's a wake-up call for us as a collective to recognise the interconnectedness of all beings and human pain and suffering, and the importance of empathy in creating a more balanced world. So now I'm going to talk more about how Neptune direct can affect our relationships, from our family, friendship, hookup, committed ones on a deeper level. So in terms of family relationships, it encourages us to be more open in our communication, and this allows us to express our feelings more freely, and this can create a supportive environment, and we can find that misunderstandings can be resolved more peacefully now, and we can develop a stronger sense of of unity as we navigate challenges together as a family, but negatively the increased emotional sensitivity and idealism can cloud our judgment, leading to overlooking practical issues or the practicalities of life as a family and stuff, or we can dismiss red flags within our family relationships, preferring to stay in fantasy, ignoring issues because they can cause tension, because a lot of the time we can walk in eggshells, and we may want to retreat into fantasies and avoidance rather than confronting the real life problems, So it's essential to balance empathy with clear communication and find practical solutions to maintain healthy family dynamics instead of brushing it under the carpet and trying to maintain peace that way, which is always a false peace. In terms of friendships, they can really grow and they can allow us to feel more emotionally, spiritually or psychologically connected. We can find ourselves more willing to forgive and overlook minor flaws in our friends, and this can strengthen bonds and create a sense of togetherness. It encourages us to explore shared dreams and goals and increase the quality of our friendships, and sharing creativity together can create mutual understanding, and this can enrich friendships even more. But on the flip side, confusion and idealization, where we place our friends on pedestals, can lead to unrealistic expectations, and this tendency can result in disappointment when reality can fall short of our ideals. It is crucial to remain grounded and realistic about our friendships while embracing inherent imperfections, and doing so can help us develop relationships related in authenticity, allowing for both us and our friends to grow together in meaningful ways. In terms of co-worker relationships, we can benefit from increased intuition. This can promote teamwork, so we can just find ourselves better attuned to the emotions of our co-workers right now, and this can lead to more honest, empathetic communication and a sense of collective purpose. And this intuitive connection can increase creative problem solving and productivity and workplace, morale, where we can just have a feel good about the environment, but negatively, the increased sensitivity can lead to misunderstandings and misinterpretation about our co-workers' intentions, can become absorbed in emotional undercurrents, creating unnecessary tension. To sort of migrate this, offset this negative, we have to focus on clear communication, set boundaries, respect boundaries, and to ensure that our intuitive insights do not overshadow the need for straightforward dialogue and conversation. Because being someone that works with intuition, it's good, but we must not use it in a way that we're like, we know someone better than themselves sort of way. We have to respect other people's right to know themselves more than us, because they are with themselves all the time. So it can just lead to us having more cooperation and understanding. In terms of committed relationships, we can deepen our emotional intimacy in them, and this can increase the togetherness, and we can find ourselves more idealistic and romantic and inspired by dreams of love, connection, and this can allow for more deeper appreciation of each other's strengths, weaknesses, and sharing and vulnerabilities, and being kind of meaningful with date nights and open to honest romance. But we just need to watch out that the romanticism don't lead to escapism, where you may retreat into fantasies that do not reflect reality. So again, grounding is good, open communication, and make sure trying to keep the peace doesn't overshadow the practical aspects of your relationship, staying mindful of each other's needs and working together on your individual and couple needs, and addressing conflicts openly will help you create and sustain a balanced partnership. In terms of hookup relationships, we can just feel more sort of like excitement, attraction, wanting to play, role-playing, play into romantic fantasies and explore and being spontaneous. Or negatively, the idealization of casual encounters can lead to misunderstandings. So with this role-playing being romantic, you may fall into thinking that it's real, and this can lead to emotional disillusionment when expectations go beyond reality, and you can find yourself struggling with conflicting desires, and you can find yourself struggling with the conflicting desire for intimacy and independence. So it's important to have open and honest conversations, and watch out for blurred boundaries that can make it difficult for you to tell the difference between a genuine connection and just a physical attraction. And you may find yourself caught in a cycle of fleeting encounters that lack emotional fulfillment, and this can leave you feeling unsettled, and unhappy. So setting boundaries and being honest about your intentions is needed right now to minimize setbacks and misunderstandings. Singles and self-partnered should focus on self-love and understanding your personal desires, needs and values on a deeper level, and nurture your own identity and dreams and emotional, psychological and spiritual well-being, and just appreciate yourself more, and be creative and work with your intuition more as well, and create a more romantic and imaginative atmosphere within yourself. But negatively, because Neptune creates confusion, there can be misunderstandings or unrealistic expectations if you do date, or unrealistic expectations with yourself as well, and you may want to escape your feelings right now or avoid reality. So it's important to do what you can to stay grounded, to not put a strain on the relationship with yourself, and engage in self-care activities and gentleness, and be creative to process your emotions and connect with your inner self, and embrace solitude, and see it as a sense of empowerment, where you can gain clarity about what you truly want in relationships, rather than instead of something that's being imposed on you. And yeah, it can get lonely when you're single and you're self-partnered, but and that's okay as well. But the inventive part is finding all the different ways to make yourself feel less lonely, which can make you feel more stable within and build more self-love and acceptance and awareness. So now I'm going to talk about how Neptune direct affects our career, personal, spiritual, educational and self-partnered development. So in terms of career development, it can open doors to imaginative projects and enable you to visualize your professional goals more clearly, and sort of allow you to be drawn to work that resonates with your ideas and self-expression, or just infuse your personality more into your existing work, even if it means just wearing colourful underwear, because sometimes in the corporate world it can be hard to put your own personality in. It wants you to allow you to connect with colleagues and mentors, and allow your intuition to guide you while also staying grounded as well. But negatively, because it can make us feel confused, you can feel confused about your career direction right now. Just be aware of any tendencies to avoid responsibilities or escape them right now. Stay grounded in reality, but also just make sure that you're aware that you may just feel a little bit unsure about your career, and if you do, that's fine. Balance your dreams with practical steps, and don't be afraid to take your time as well. So in terms of personal development, it allows us to tap into our dreams and goals and desires and explore our inner world, and our intuition becomes increased, and this means that we may feel more empowered to face our emotional truths, and doing this can kind of guide us towards greater self-awareness and more growth, and we can just feel like we want to seek activities and experiences that resonate with our authentic self and create more sense of happiness and inner peace. But negatively, we can find ourselves struggling with fantasies and illusions, and we may want to avoid personal issues and make decisions based on wishful sort of like thinking rather than practical thinking and consideration, So we have to balance, being intuitive and dreaming with being realistic and logical right now. And because losing touch with the practical aspects of your life can get in the way of your progress and create more confusion about your true self, so it's important to stay grounded. In terms of spiritual development, it wants us to connect with our higher power more and resonate with ourselves on that spiritual level and find our true purpose and have more compassion and empathy with ourselves and others. But negatively, we can escape and rely excessively on our intuition without grounding our experiences in reality and using logic, and we can just find ourselves led to teachings and experiences, charismatic figures that are telling half-truths spiritually, losing sight of your own authentic paths. Because remember, all the external religions and things in the world is meant to lead us to a one-to-one relationship connection with whoever we see as a higher power. They are like the horse that gets us to the destination, but they are not the destination, just part of the journey. So we just have to make sure that we do our research, check facts, maintain good judgment, and seek out someone who has good judgment if you feel you don't have it right now. Make sure you do your research, don't ignore red flags. Know that any teacher, spiritual teacher that creates dependency on them and says my way is the only way is pretty much best avoided. In terms of educational development, it wants us to explore new educational avenues, think outside the box, and be more innovative in our approaches to learning and problem solving. We can find ourselves more drawn to, films, art, literature, other forms of creativity and self-expression, because Neptune governs all of that, the mystical, the unconventional, things that challenge traditional wisdom and academic structures, and as we engage with this creative energy by going after, pursuing projects and subjects that resonate with our true passions, it can deepen our understanding and open up new perspectives, and it can feel like our intuition is guiding us to the knowledge that is really relevant or transformative for us right now, and this can allow us to expand our intellectual horizons in meaningful ways. But negatively, the dreamy energy of Neptune can make us lack focus and bring confusion in our educational pursuits, and we can struggle with clarity. It can hinder, get in the way of our ability to absorb information effectively. So we have to balance our imaginative explorations with a grounded approach to learning, and by staying structured, we can use this energy without becoming overwhelmed by distractions or unrealistic expectations, and by staying connected to practical resources and practical tools and using logic and seeking out mentors and checking facts and exploring outside the box, and we can sort of make sure that our creative impulse motivate genuine growth rather than leading to a fog of uncertainty. So in terms of self-partnership development, we have to nurture ourselves through our challenges and face the obstacles with self-compassion and build our resilience and strength, and be more kind and patient with ourselves and transform adversity into learning experiences rather than blocks that stop us from living our best life. And as we explore our feelings and motivations, and as I said, we are encouraged to explore our feelings, motivations and hidden passions and truly connect with our inner world right now and build a strong foundation for our personal development that pushes us forward rather than keeps us back. But we have to make sure that we don't ignore the deeper parts of our inner world right now, and we do not ignore shadow work work, as doing this can lead to unresolved issues that surface later, and this can undermine your progress. And it reminds us to confront and integrate the hidden facets of yourself, and to increase your self-awareness and being authentic. And as you nurture yourself through challenges and make time for reflection, this can allow to a more holistic approach for self-partnership development, and this can allow for a more holistic approach to self-partnership development, and this can empower you to reach your fullest potential as you allow yourself to enjoy the journey and explore. So now I'm going to talk about the best things for creatives, professionals, entrepreneurs, alternative healers, lovers, singles and self-partnered to do when Neptune is transiting direct. So creatives can benefit from exploring new art forms and techniques, and professionals and entrepreneurs can find success in visionary projects or collaborations with others. Alternative healers should focus on energy work or holistic practices to increase their healing abilities, and lovers should deepen their emotional connections through acts of compassion and empathy, and singles and self-partnered can benefit from self-reflective activities like journaling and meditation. So now I'm just going to finish up with some questions you can ask yourself about your financial, emotional and spiritual needs when Neptune is direct. So you can reflect on whether your financial choices are creating a sense of stability and security in your life, or if they are driving you to just keep up with what society tells you to buy, what house to home, which jewelry to wear, what clothes to wear and stuff. Are your possessions and your seeking really yours, or what you are told to seek? Evaluate your savings and investment strategies to see if they are truly in sync with your goals, or if they need changing to be more in alignment and to be better able to serve you in your future and your future needs. On an emotional and spiritual level, take the time to assess what truly nourishes your well-being, and ask yourself if you're engaging in practices that increase your emotional resilience and create inner peace, or activities that stop it. Contemplate your connections with others and whether they uplift or drain your energy. Spiritually, reflect on your beliefs and practices. Do they resonate with your authentic self, or have you been sticking to outdated ideologies? And this sort of self-reflection can illuminate your path forward, encouraging a more balanced alignment between your emotional health, spiritual growth and financial well-being. And you can also ask yourself whether your daily routines and habits are in alignment and conducive to good emotional, psychological, spiritual and physical well-being as well. Consider how stress or emotional challenges might be manifesting in your body. Are you listening to the signals your body sends, or have you been neglectful of your physical symptoms that can be resulting from emotional, psychological, spiritual trauma? Additionally, think about your future plans. Are your goals aligned with your true self, or have your external expectations influence goals? As I said earlier, identify what truly motivates you and whether your current lifestyle supports a fulfilling life. So really look into your support systems. Do you support yourself in the ways that you really need it? Do you nurture your strengths and your weaknesses? Do you forgive yourself? Do you love on yourself? Do you accept yourself? Do you take time out to build your self-belief, worth and confidence? Look at whether your current relationships, whether they be friends, family or professional networks, nurture your growth or get in the way of your growth. Do they provide you with the emotional, psychological and spiritual stability you need? So now I'm going to talk about the holistic spiritual, the exercises, the nutrition things you can do, and the psychological self-care rituals also that you can do when Neptune is direct. So as I said earlier, any form of mindfulness practice is good, whether it's just taking 2 minutes out each morning to meditate, do some yoga or tai chi, doing things that help you connect with your inner self and reflect, and kind of relax as well, spending time in nature or listening to the sound of nature, or grounding yourself to the earth, stabilizing your emotions and clearing your mind. Journaling can help you process your thoughts and feelings and help you manifest clarity in your goals and relationships. Then in terms of food, focus on a balanced diet, rich in whole foods that nourish your mind and body. Also, you can eat foods that are high in omega-3, fatty acids and antioxidants and everything else that's good for you and that can help your emotional resilience and cognitive function, making sure that drink enough water or herbal teas that promote relaxation and calmness. From a psychological standpoint, practice gratitude and acknowledge the positives in your life, and this can shift your perspective and raise your mood. Connect with supportive communities, whether through group activities or online platforms, and this can create a sense of belonging and reinforce a sense of belonging and kind of increase your spiritual journey. But know that true inner peace and sense of belonging comes from accepting yourself on all levels. But there's nothing wrong with having a support network and people that can reconfirm your internal validations, as long as you don't solely depend on external validation. So just doing things to embrace yourself, love on yourself and understand yourself and grow is the best use of Neptune direct. So yes, that's the end of this special on what to do when Neptune turns direct. I'm Amani, your holistic astrological life coach, and take care and see you next time.